Good morning. Welcome to the Better Business Workshop. Today, we're looking at conversation killers. Do you ever find yourself in a situation where you'll be talking to somebody either in business or at home? Maybe you've got teenage children and they'll just truncate the conversation and you think, crikey, how did that happen? Where do I go next? So I'm here today to talk about that with my colleague, Gareth. Gareth Hughes, good morning. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, I'm brilliant. Thank you, Gareth. Great to see you. So do you ever find yourself in that situation, Gareth? We often say, and I love this quote.
Yeah, all the
right? I love this quote, don't you? Have a look at it on the next slide. Never argue with an idiot. It creates two.
Yeah, it does. And it's kind of like that whole thing about, who's the bigger idiot, the guy with the stupid idea or the guy arguing with the guy with the stupid idea, right? And some conversations you just don't even need to be in. And sometimes I find this with networking as well. If people are going networking and you find yourself talking to completely the wrong person who you don't want to be talking to, and it's really hard to extract yourself from that situation, right? I mean, how do you do it in a really polite way? And how do you kill the conversation? And it doesn't mean that you never present your ideas to someone or anything like that. Like if somebody presents an alternative idea to you, just walk away. That's not what we're saying here, I don't think. But what we are saying is that how far down the rabbit hole do you go? And how far do you take it? Because some people are just never going to change their point of view, right? Some people are just stuck with their point of view. They're in their echo chamber, and life's brilliant for them. And I just find it's just worth getting out of the conversation. You waste so much time arguing or debating or having discussions with people, and you just know it's not going to go anywhere.
But there's a right way and a wrong way to do that, right? And as we see on the next slide, have you ever heard anybody do this? How many times have you had a conversation at networking or at a coaching session? I have this a lot. In fact, we ban this. Or with a teenage child, right? And you'll offer an alternative point of view, and they're so kind of fixed on where they're going. They'll say this, right, Gareth? They'll say, "I know." So we ban it, right?
And I ban the words "I know" from my workshops and from my coaching sessions. And I was glad you mentioned the teenage child thing. I've got a daughter just coming up to teenage years, and all I get from her is "I know," right? Like, you need to tidy your room. I know, right? Or you need to empty the dishwasher. I know, right? And it's just so infuriating because she doesn't know. Right, she thinks she knows, right? But she doesn't actually know. But with the important thing is why we ban it in coaching sessions is because as soon as somebody says "I know," they close themselves down from a learning opportunity, right? That is a closed kind of mindset to have, right? They shut themselves down from having any further conversation. And it just means that whatever proceeds the words "I know" actually doesn't mean anything, right? And they're not going to take on board anything you say. You say "I know" to stop the conversation, really, in your head. Okay, it's not really an agreement.
It's a mental full stop, right? I know, that's the end of the conversation. I'm not going any further. So how do we keep it flowing? Next slide, right? How do we keep the conversation flowing? What we can say instead of "I know" is this, right?
Yeah, so this is what I do now, and I don't know if other people do it, but isn't that interesting? Is a great way to stop the conversation if you want it, but more importantly, keep your mind open to what the other person is saying, right? Because nobody's right about everything, okay? And whatever proceeds isn't that interesting is going to be a learning opportunity, right? It's gonna be something that I pride myself, I think, on the fact that I read a range of sources and I read stuff I don't agree with. So I have a particular political sway, but I make a point of reading, other political leaders who I don't agree with, right? Because I want to get that rounded view. I still don't agree with them, right? But I've learned a hell of a lot more about politics and economics, that kind of thing, by doing that thing. And it's because it's because I haven't said, oh yeah, I know about that. It's because I've said, that's interesting. Let's go have a look, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It keeps your mind open to all sorts of possibilities, but also actually it keeps the conversation flowing. It allows the possibilities to remain open, as opposed to just punctuating the sentence, ending the conversation with "I know" and it being a conversation killer. So, isn't that interesting? Hey, brilliant, Gav. All right, look, it's been great to see you today. We've got a ton of content. If you want to come and have a conversation with us about how you can keep the conversation going, if you'd like a strategy review about your business, go and book one over on the website. Go and visit miltonkeynes.actioncoach.co.uk. You can also join our VIP groups. Good morning, David, by the way. Good morning, God morning from France. Great to see you. Thanks for joining. If you'd like to come and join our VIP groups, actually, we'll be putting the link straight in this post as soon as we've finished. But you can come and join us over in the Better Business Workshop on Facebook and on LinkedIn, and there's a ton of content over there. We'll be back on Friday, Gareth. Looking forward to seeing you then.
Yeah, see you then.
Yeah.